Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, tensions in the Middle East are boiling over and global markets are holding their breath. While missiles fly and alliances shift, one question matters to us. What happens to Bitcoin and crypto when the world steps closer to war? Some say Bitcoin is a safe haven, others say it's the first thing to crash in a crisis. In this video, I'm breaking down how rising conflict could shake up the crypto markets and what you need to know before the next headline changes. This morning, Iran's missiles hit the Israeli stock exchange. As a result, the Tel Aviv Israel stock market 35 index was trading at all-time new highs. It went up a massive 16%. Oil is currently trading at $73 per barrel, and it's just oscillating just on top of this trend line over here. Markets are still holding their breath. If prices head lower into this area, it's confirmed that we're not going to see a war. However, if this is what I think it is, a bullish pennant, then we could head up higher and thus see a stagflationary environment. The price of Bitcoin is oscillating in this pennant. It's currently still moving sideways. We will see a decisive move. Even the Bollinger Bands are tight at the moment. It's a very extremely tight range. These are some of the top 10 best performing traders on Hyperliquid, and as of now, they're currently short. The biggest whale has a position of $223 million and his currently P&L is at $23 million. He's sitting on a large Bitcoin short, Ethereum short, Solana, SU, and Hyperliquid. The number 2 whale on Hyperliquid is also shorting Bitcoin, ETH, Sol, SU, and Hyperliquid. What do they know that we don't? The liquidation heat map shows the most amount of liquidations is sitting at $106,000. If we have a look at the weekly liquidation and zoom out, the biggest liquidations are sitting at 103. And if we look at the 3-month liquidation heat map, the biggest liquidations are sitting at $92,000 and also at $110,000. Which way will market makers push the market? Bitcoin in the month of June is currently at 0.32%. We did predict that this market will go sideways to down. Bitcoin on average tends to underperform in June and outperform in July. So we should see some momentum in July. Will we see, in my generation, the first time a nuclear weapon is detonated? A lot of volatility this year has been due to OpX, and the next OpX is on the 18th of June. We should see massive volatility happening in the near future. We have good news all across the board. MicroStrategy adds another 10k BTC to their Bitcoin treasury. Apologies for the bright white light. A fintech group raises 800 million BTC. Anthony Pump leads a 750 million round on buying Bitcoin. Trump Media raises 2.5 billion to invest in Bitcoin. With all this good news, Bitcoin should be at far higher prices. So it begs the question, why isn't the price moving up higher? There's a massive altcoin season happening, but it's happening in traditional markets. DeFi Development raises $1 billion to buy Solana. Singaporean company buys a mammoth 500 million of XRP in their treasury. Starklink buys 460 million worth of Ethereum in their treasury. JP Morgan moves into stablecoins, and they've made a stablecoin called a permission token, meaning it only is available to Morgan institutional clients, unlike many stablecoins which are publicly available. We finally have some legislation in crypto. The US Senate has finally approved the Genius Act. This marks the first time the Senate has ever cleared a major crypto legislation act. And finally, Coinbase seeks SEC approval to offer tokenized stocks trading. We did say this and we did predict this on our channel. We said that altcoins will merge with the Nasdaq. There are more ETF filings for altcoins. We have NEAR, SU, BNB, Tron, Polkadot, Dodge, Solana, Pengu, Su, AVAX, and the list goes on and on and on. However, there is a massive disparity between all this good news, yet the price is still not moving. Why do you think this is the case? Ethereum saw the biggest whale inflows in history, the largest it's ever seen. We also have massive shorts, the biggest in history for Ethereum. We have two opposing forces. We have the biggest shorts and the biggest buys. Which one will possibly win? We're going to find out. Ethereum has some of the largest inflows. BlackRock continues to buy Ethereum hand over fist. And yet again, they haven't sold a single bit of ETH. However, you can't force the demand. If participants do not care about altcoins, you can buy ETFs all you want. The demand must be higher than the supply. We're slowly heading into mania. Bitcoin's fair value could be as high as 230K. With Trump's plans to cut taxes and the US debt unfolding higher and higher, Bitcoin could be a massive benefactor. However, we have to keep our feet to the ground. Bitcoin still hasn't seen all-time new highs. Our target still stands. The Fed still haven't cut. It's almost 7 months into the year and we still haven't seen a cut. The dot plot anticipated that we would see at least 3 or 4 cuts this year. We haven't seen a single one. The Fed is data dependent and they're very hawkish simply for one reason only. Inflation is beginning to raise its ugly head again. It's currently sitting at 2.11%. The unemployment rate is slowly rising and the labor force is definitely softening. Will we get into a recession and will the Fed finally cut? Total assets under management is still heading lower. QT is still running in the background. During a war, Bitcoin is still classed as a risk-off asset. It's not gold, nor is it the Nasdaq or the S&P 500. It's slightly in between. So if a war does break out, we believe that Bitcoin will see lower prices for the short term. However, our target still stands of higher prices, but in the medium term, due to uncertainty and escalating pressures, Bitcoin is heading to my target of $88,000. With all this good news and all this buying pressure from BlackRock, we anticipate lower prices for the medium term. However, I'm extremely bullish on Ethereum in the long term. Likewise, Solana, with all this bullish momentum and bullish news, prices haven't still moved an inch. Solana is slowly heading to my target of $126. We are near the end of the cycle and all your bags should be packed. If you need help with your portfolio, join our private members. Unlock your edge, join our private members for exclusive crypto insights, early altcoin picks and market updates you won't find anywhere else. We're here to help you stay in the right side of markets. No hype, just real strategies that work. Spaces are limited. Apply now and level up your portfolio. Bitcoin dominance is heading up higher. This is a fractal from this period right here in the summer. Bitcoin dominance is inching higher and higher. But like I said before, just after the FOMC meeting, we should see dominance head downwards, thus giving some respite to altcoins. Nothing goes up in a straight line or down in a straight line. Likewise, BTC dominance, ETH dominance, and stablecoin dominance is heading to my target of 82. This is just a derivative of Bitcoin dominance. And finally, virtual. Virtual is oscillating around here. I'm looking for lower prices, and virtual is simply an index of AI agents. If virtual does terrifically well, you get the picture. My next target for virtual is sitting at $1.38. That's it for now, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, and join our private members. If you need help profiting and keeping profits in crypto, join our private members. You won't regret it. Peace. See you on the next one.